Yo, you tryna cook up some soul? I got you, let's break it down.
There's not many R&B artists coming out of Florida. There's a few, and they're incredible. Like, we're having our moment, and it's beautiful to see because not many people rep our city.
My favorite thing about collaborating is both artists bringing their taste to the music.
I'm tired of the R&B dead conversation. So I see people out there chase a chord, Odile, just dope ass artists. So just go do your research. R&B ain't dead.
What's good, y'all? As you watch me struggle playing the piano here, I'm going to be addressing what this video is about. Right, in today's video, we're going to be bringing back R&B. The topic that 𝐈𝐧𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐦 was addressing is people saying that, oh, R&B is dead, online and offline. Right, now that is all subjective. There's no facts. It's all opinion based, and anything that you say about R&B being dead, it is not true, right? Y'all may be speaking upon the fact of, oh, we're not singing we're not singing out in the rain anymore with boom boxes on our heads, but that's the times evolve and the culture evolves, right? I posted something on my story the other day asking, why don't R&B artists sing in the rain anymore? And this is what some people had to say. So we're going to be addressing that topic by bringing back R&B. Let's get into it. Okay, so jumping into the video. First things first, we're gonna break down the chord progression. Right? Y'all saw me struggling. Y'all saw me finding the chords earlier, right? And that was the whole process of how I found these. There's nothing much to these. It's very basic. This just repeats. Right? Yeah, there's nothing much to these. It just repeats. Y'all can do these just by finding a scale, right? And I found my scale, which was C minor, and then picking an instrument, and then just building a regular triad. Let me mute this real quick. Building a regular triad, and then placing another note on top, right? I don't want to get too much theory involved, right? Because it comes to a point where you don't understand what's going on for real. But I try to keep it as simple as I can by just saying another note on top, but it gets way more complex than that, if y'all know what I mean. But you place another note on top, and then I placed another note on top. I basically just go off your ears. For real, you don't need no theory. You don't need to know what 7th, 9th, 13th, whatever 200s are. All you need to know is what sounds good to you, right? So after you do that, you go on and freestyle for the rest of the chords, right? But for this in particular, the first instrument I started off with this time was not the chord progression, surprisingly, right? The thing I started off this time was the bass. And it sounds like this. Yo, this is so groovy, bro. I feel like this is one of the best basses I've made yet, y'all. Yo, this is so groovy. But how I did this, Honestly, I can't explain how I did this. I was just freestyling. I like the scale I was in, and then I just freestyled the notes. Honestly, but how you can get to do this is by listening to Isaiah Fall's songs, right? You can hear his groovy bass lines and how they're formed, and you can also try to picture it out in your head, right? And how you hear it sounding, you can play it in the piano roll. Now, going back to the chord progression, I just wanted to tell y'all that I didn't start with the chord progression first. Going back to the chord progression, I have a Valhalla vintage verb, right? And a CLA 3A stereo. And with this, I just boosted the gain and the peak reduction. The reason why I did that is because y'all know me, I love lowering the velocities, right? So it sounds, when you play it softer, it sounds more beautiful. So I use the compressor to boost up the sound instead of the volume, because the volume will just destroy the sample, the piano sample. So next instrument that I did was this pad, right? I found this pad in Diva. Right, this pad was found in Diva, and the name is Deep and Drenched. Wow. Wow, what a name. I didn't even peep that, bro. I was just cooking through pads. So what I did was I went through presets. And then that's when I had to went to the search history, right? I don't know, it's not letting me click it now. I went through the search history and I searched a pad. And then that's when I was going through these and I like the way that this one sounded. It sounded very nice. And the effects I have on this one is, oh, I have nothing on here. It was already very ambient, so I ain't really add nothing on here. Deep and drenched, y'all. Yo. Next is another pad. And this one is from Peculiar Sounds. It's a glide pad. And for this one, I have a Valhalla vintage verb. That's all I have on here, just to make it more ambient. This is how it sounds without it. And this is with it. As you see, nothing much changed except for adding more space and making the sound echo as if it was in a cave. You get what I'm saying? Next instrument is this right here. This is how it sounds without no effects. It's a Rhodes, and this is the Valhalla vintage verb I have on here. And I have a delay eternal, and I have the time signature on 1/4 beat. Right, that means that it has some time before the delay catch up to it, and I also have the delay mode into ping pong. I have some pancake, and I have it on the left to right shy preset, and all I did was drag it over it so that it can reach further to the left and right. Right, I don't want it to go all the way, but I wanted it to be touching the tip. Pause. But I wanted it to be touching the edges a little bit. Next is the Fruity Flangus to give it that modular sound, because I wanted it to be like a sort of wah guitar type thing, but I didn't want it to be a wah. You get what I'm saying? I just wanted to have that sound, that artifacts about it. And the Fruity Flangus gives it that artifact. And the sound is from Xenology, and the name is Sweet Times. It's one of my favorite roads. Next is this right here. right? And this is from 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐦, the About Time preset. And the effects I have on here is a Valhalla Vintage Verb. I lowered the mix on the mixer track. The thing is default. I have Valhalla delay. I put this to digital, right? Instead of tape, I put it to digital. And what the modes do, I'm not sure if y'all know what the modes do, but what the modes do, the delay sounds very different. Hold up, let me switch it to tape. Y'all gonna hear it. Right. I'm gonna switch it to digital. Y'all can hear a difference. Please tell me you're wearing headphones, but y'all can hear a difference. And I was just going through the modes and I was cycling through, and then I was like, ooh, I like this one, and I picked it. That's practically all I did. Next is a shimmer to have a tail behind it. This is how it sounds without it. And this is how it sounds with it. As y'all can hear, it has that tail. It leaves that high-end tail behind it. Next, I have a fruity filter. I didn't want the sound to be too high, but I wanted it to keep that high aspect so I didn't have to pitch it down. You get what I'm saying? I didn't want to pitch it down, so I just used the cutoff feature, and that toned the high-end frequencies down a little bit. This is how it sounds without it. Right? It has that piercing high-end, and I didn't want to EQ it out, so I just used this fruity filter, and I'm sure it's doing the same thing as an EQ would, but it sounds better to me to use this. Next, I have a fruity phaser. This is how it sounds without it. And this is how it sounds with it. Next instrument is the bass. I know y'all wanted that bass sauce, so I'm gonna give it to you. The bass is found in Triton Extreme, and the name is Dark R&B Bass. And what I have on here is a fruity chorus, fat clean preset, a CLA 3A stereo, the compressor, and I have the peak reduction up and the gain up, right? Because I had lowered the velocities in here. Ooh, but I'll. Next is the CLA 3A compressor, and I have the peak reduction up and the gain up, right? And with that, I just want the bass to be louder. Next, I have this parametric EQ to cut out the highs because I wanted it to be a low bass. I didn't want any high end to be sitting up there. This is how it sounds without it. You see, it has that clicky aspect of it, bro. Like, I don't know why most basses have that clicky aspect. And I know why. It's just annoying. So I just EQ'd the high out. Uh, a hell of a lot of the high out. And it sounds good to me. Right? And that's practically off of the bass. Next is the textures. And with these textures, first thing I added was this ah. That's my vocals. This is how it sounds without no effects. Yeah. This is how it sounds without no effects, and this is how it sounds with effects. With the effects, I have fruity delay, fruity reverb, a panomatic to pan it left to right crazily, and I turned out the mix. Fruity flanger, parameter EQ, so that it's not too wide and I can have it compressed and filtered out. And another filter, and this time I messed with the cutoff. Right. And this is just some perks, some texture to add, and I heard that on my on one of his songs, and I just wanted to add to this loop because it was fire to me. Next is this wah guitar I found on Splice. Right, this is how it sounds without effects. And this is how it sounds with the effects. Now the effects that it had is the parameter EQ to cut out the high end, because with the reverb I added, it makes it have that piercing high end noise, right? Especially for this guitar. So I just used this parameter EQ to cut out the highs. Pancake, same thing as I did on the other one, just left to right shy, and then I brought them out a little bit further. Another parameter EQ to lower the lows. For the delay too, lowered the mix on the mixer track, and another fruity delay, and a Valhalla vintage verb. And for this section right here, I have it pitched up, and with that, I have it pitched up because I pitched it up, right? That's what I was talking about with the EQ. I pitched it up, so it made it even higher. So that's why I had to cut out the highs, because it had that screeching noise. And this is what the automation is about. I just automated the EQ to come in when it's pitched up. Next is this perk loop. I had found these two perk loops from a Beat Center's kit, and that's when I had chopped them up, right? I found these from a Beat Center's kit and I chopped them up. It's two different perk loops, and it sounded good. It took a while for me to find what I like, but this is how it sounds. Right, and on this I have a fruity delay, a fruity reverb, Panomatic, fruity flanger, sorry, a parameter EQ, and another parameter EQ. But with the most of the effects, I turned them off because it was making them sound too modular, if you get what I'm saying. Next is this guitar again, this little muted type guitar that I found on Splice, and it gives the melody some type of rhythm, right? That's why I have it going on consistently. For that, the effects I have on this one is a Valhalla vintage verb, a fruity love filter. I have the low pass 2 preset, low pass 2, and I was playing around till I heard something that I liked, right? Next is a fruity delay, but I turned it off because it was going way too crazy, because it already had a rhythm, right? So the delay was kicking in with that, so it just started clashing. That's why I turned it off. Next is a fruity flangus to give it that modular aspect, and I turned down the mix so that it's not too much, because I still wanted it to be like a regular guitar. I just wanted it to have that little artifact to it, if you get what I'm saying. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a chorusy type vibe. Next, I have a fruity chorus. Now, onto the vocals. I found these on Splice as well. Splice Warrior. I might change that to my handle tag or something. And the reason why I went after a choir instead of just like a regular vocal is because in his song Heaven,
Everything's on fire. Everything's on fire. Everything without you.
that choir is very beautiful, y'all. And I was trying to find something like it, but I didn't want to sample anything. And I was searching on Splice for like, let me see how long this project is. 3 hours and 46 minutes. I was searching on Splice for like 46 minutes, y'all. This thing took 3 hours because I was trying to find the perfect sounds. But I was searching on Splice for like 46 minutes to find a choir vocal because I didn't want to sample anybody. So I just found this and I used it. It's not perfect, but it sounds very good. And it came out very well, so I'm happy I used it. And with the effects on this, it is parametric EQ, Valhalla vintage verb, a fruited delay, a pan man, and a free filter. I messed with the cutoff. Now, with the Valhalla vintage verb, I lowered the mix in the channel rack, not channel rack, sorry, in the mixer track, and the fruited delay too, I lowered it in the mixer track as well. Next is my favorite. Fantastic. Yo, all I have out here is a Valhalla vintage verb, lowered the mix, and a pancake, right? Same thing as I did the last couple times, left to right shy, and there I brought it out a little bit. And then after, I found these marvelous strings, right? And it just completed the whole melody. And that's practically all for the loop. And with some key tips and functions that I did was I added some spaces, pauses to make the melody hit harder in some places, right? Like this. It drops right back into the whole orchestra. And I also changed the bass line from the original bass line that sounds like this. And it ends like this. You see, I switched it from that into this. And it ends like this. That way it don't get too repetitive, because the bass is groovy, don't get me wrong, but it gets to a point where you want to take it out. And I didn't want to take it out. That bass line, it took some time. So I didn't want to take it out. The beat maker is gonna take it out if they want to. But I left it in the preview because it sounded hard, and I just switched the bass line, right? But that's practically all for this loop. Nothing too crazy as usual. You just gotta layer, just gotta know when to place sounds, where to place sounds, how to use sounds, how to use the fillers, how to use the pauses, how to use splice, how to be a splice warrior, right? That's practically all. And yeah, I'm about to play the melody out, and peace.